Hi everybody, welcome to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Well, not actually Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. The patch notes for actually yesterday's big update that came on the 8th of November 2019. I've uploaded a couple of videos with some gameplay from the new Ground War map and the new 6v6 map, but I thought I'd actually go through the patch notes. This is something I always do for PUBG, for example, and DayZ, because there's some really exciting stuff here that you probably should know about as you're running around, and you're probably thinking, oh, this feels a little bit different. So anyway, this is from the official Infinity Ward Reddit post, and they start off by saying that you'll have noticed this already, that the quick play filter has been updated because we've now got Shoot House 24/7. That's the new 6v6 map, and it cycles between primarily objective based modes. I think there might be a bit of TDM there as well. They've added the Krovnik farmland to Ground War. Now, if you haven't played Krovnik farmland, stop listening to this video, fire up Modern Warfare, put it on Ground War, and play through the other maps if they come up, Quarry and the city map. Because Krovnik farmland, I only played it once last night, was absolutely amazing. My favourite maps of the two we had at launch was definitely the Quarry map, but the problem with it is it's very easy for people to get very high up on the walls of the quarry or on tops of buildings and shoot down onto you, even tanks and things. So being out in the open was a little bit of a crapshoot. Krovnik's much flatter. So although there are various buildings, they're just like farm buildings, so you don't have those massive lines of sight. And the flags are very linear, like almost in a straight line up through the map. And I tell you what, it was fantastic. It was like playing Battlefield 4, but better, because it's got Call of Duty's movement and shooting. And it was sending shivers down my spine. It really was. I was thinking, this is it. This is what we've always wanted, massive Call of Duty maps, and I enjoyed it very, very much. So, but there we go, on with the patch notes. So Hardpoint has been added as well. Played a little bit of Hardpoint last night, good fun. I've added it to my rotation. New free maps, we've talked about those already. New playlists going live on Friday, Hardpoint Shoot House. Alright, so the Shoot House 24/7 playlist includes a mixture of Team Deathmatch, Domination, Kill Confirmed, and Headquarters, and as they've said, this is free for everyone across all platforms, which is really cool. Now we're into general things now. Back-end fixes to prevent crashes and improve stability across all platforms, including dev errors and various performance fixes. Fix for a few bugs where some streaks and field upgrades were able to be flown out of bounds without penalty. General out of bounds fixes are also added. Fix for a bug where a player being killed by an enemy with a variable zoom scope would not see the zoom function in the kill cam. Fix for the Semtex warning audio being heard at the same volume whether in a building or outside. In Headquarters, players are able to place attack insert and respawn when their team owned the point. This has been fixed. Fix for various collision issues across the maps. Added UI that shows when XP events are active in the playlist menus. Sprint and tactical sprint speeds are now back to speeds in beta. So apparently for the full release, the game was slowed down a little bit. I think the figures bandied around for 5%. So you'll be able to go that little bit faster. Fix for a bug where the progress of the bomb defusal can be seen by the team that planted the bomb. Fix for a bug that revealed players to UAVs when they fired their weapons, even if they had Ghost and a silencer equipped. Fixed an issue where if multiple personal radios were active on a team and are both marking the same enemy, only one player would see the enemy on their mini-map. Right, okay, fair enough. Riot shield. Fixed an issue where the throwing knife and thermite weren't causing the shield to go on the player's back when thrown. That was a good one, wasn't it? We've also fixed the issues where explosive splash damage wasn't working consistently. We'll continue to tune the Riot Shield in future updates. I will have to do some Riot Shield gameplay. I haven't really used it much, but I fancy having a go with it on Domination and Hardpoint. Claymores. Detonating an enemy claymore with bullets is now non-lethal when at full health. We've also reduced the trigger and damage radius and also reduced the damage width to better match the trigger width. Oh, that's better. So that if you shoot at a claymore with your bullets, you're not going to die to the blast. Battle chapter. Now, this is very interesting, very exciting. I didn't really listen out for it last night, but what they're saying is they've removed the ability for enemies to hear when they've been called out by their opposing team. So what would happen at the moment is you'd run up, you'd see someone, and your character would go, "Contact!" And then to your teammates, they would hear something like, "Enemy at the buses." But also the enemies would hear you shouting, "Contact!" So, you go, "Whoa, someone spotted me." So that's really cool. They can't hear that. We've also adjusted the enemy call-out so they are never from your operator. Enemy call-outs now use a more restricted cone at the hip and even more restricted in ADS when calculating whether or not to trigger. So the other thing that happens with call-outs, I mean, you'll know this already, is you'll come around a corner and your character will go, "Contact!" And you'll think, what the hell has he seen? Because you can't see the enemy. You're like, "Whoa, where are they?" Someone's there. So what they're saying is now that it's going to be a much more tighter area that will cause your guy to say it. I don't quite understand what they say when they say we also adjusted the enemy call-outs so they are never from your operator. So I think we're going to have to play it to see what that means. I mean, maybe it means that when your guy isn't going to shout "Contact" anymore, all you're going to hear is "Enemy at the buses," or "Enemy at the farmhouse," that sort of stuff. "Enemy at the containers." Right, okay. We'll continue to monitor this and make additional tweaks to Battle Chatter in future updates. Well, there is an option, Infinity Ward. Just get rid of it all. Just don't have it. You don't need it. Mounting, slight increased recoil when mounting, as there always should be, as the showgirl said to the vicar. Perks, EOD now clamps damage to non-lethal amount, assuming the player is at full health. So EOD is the damage restricting perk that you can have. So it's now saying, yes, if you're at full health, you're never going to die to an explosive. Lighting, continued updates to player visibility in dark windows and dark areas. Footsteps, here we go. We've increased the occlusion percentage to filter footstep sounds behind geometry and adjusted the footstep volume at a distance. So they're saying that when there's something between you and the person you're listening to, like a wall or a door, it's going to be quieter. We have another large footstep change coming in the next update, which will make crouch and ADS movements significantly quieter. Stay tuned. So that makes sense. So if you're crouching and creeping along, and aim down sighting, so you're going even slower, you're going to be really, tiptoeing. Challenges, progression, and rank. Daily challenges and active missions are getting a full sweep of testing and fixes. We'll have more updates to these systems in future updates. Fix for a bug where the infiltrator challenge was not tracking properly. Fix for launchers not giving XP when shooting down kill streaks. Fix for a bug where planting or defusing 5 bombs in cyber attack or search and destroy was not tracking properly. Camo challenge for kills after a reload didn't give the player enough time to acquire a kill, so time has been increased. Fix for a bug where your XP required to reach the next rank was higher than the value needed. Now here we go, weapons. Right, we all know what's coming. 7.25 shotgun, increased to the aim down sight and hip spread, and reducing the damage range. I think I noticed this last night when I was playing the new 6v6 map, because I ran with a 7.25, and I was thinking this thing isn't killing people quite as it did before. It was still blowing people away. M4A1 assault rifle, reduced damage range, small recoil increase. So, yeah, I mean, the M4A1 is pretty much the best gun in the game, isn't it? Apart from the 7.25. Assault rifles increase hip spread to reduce effectiveness up close, less damage at long range for full auto 5.56 rifles. Because the SMGs, you've got to say, I haven't been impressed. So with the SMGs, they've increased the movement speed, increased the aim down sight movement speed, and there's a small reduction in sprint out time, which hopefully will make them more effective. Uzi SMG, increased damage range. The MG34 LMG, increased hip spread, damage range reduction and small ADS slowdown, so that's not as powerful. The M91 LMG increased the hip spread, small damage range reduction. The PKM, increase hip spread, medium damage range reduction. So they must have been thinking the LMGs were a little bit too powerful. Pistols, increase the movement speed, reduce sprint out time, increase damage range. I think they needed to do this because whenever I use pistols, I wasn't, again, that impressed with how effective they were. Crouch and prone no longer adjust recoil. That's interesting. I always felt that, if you're crouching, you're prone, your recoil should be much less. Update the rule sets for the CDL, the Call of Duty League, competitive modes in private matches. Cyber attack, fix for a bug where a player could lose their primary weapon and would be unable to see their view model after being revived by a teammate. Oh, interesting. Ground war. Fix the bug where players would sometimes be unable to pick a spawn location. Fix for a bug where attack insert would cause players to spawn on the enemy's home base. Pick up intel in the operations. Explore. Oh, special ops. Here we go. So this is things you can do in the special ops co-op modes. In the operations, explore Verdansk to find additional backstory information on Verdansk and the operators. Fix for the scoreboards, XP adjustments and general back-end fixes, blah, blah, and lots of others. They're all bug fixes, these. So, there we go. Very interested indeed. It's great that we've got a patch this fast. It's great that we've got some new maps this fast into the cycle. I'll tell you one thing that I was wondering. Don't know if anybody else has come across this, is you get like a ping sound when you're running around the maps. Have you heard this? It's almost like, like a submarine ping. It's really high pitched and really annoying. I'm not sure why that happens. So there we go. They're the they're the patch notes for the 8th of November 2019 update to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Hopefully that'll shed some light on some differences you've probably already noticed as when you were running around this amazing game. If you haven't got it already, come on. What are you doing? But anyway, that's enough from me. Put your questions and comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.